Hello, grade 6 students. I hope that you're all doing good. So we started and our first lesson is about the cell, which is the basic unit of all living things. When we say living things or organisms, we mean people, animals, and plants. These organisms are built out of cells. So today in this video, we will be solving together the first science worksheet. Let's start with question number 1. Complete the sentences with the convenient words. A green plant is made of an endless number of small, so I just said that cells build plants, animals, and people. These cells are separated one from the other by a thick membrane. Always remember that plant cells have two outlines. They have two membranes. The first one, I'm talking about this one right here, is called the cell membrane, and the second one, which is the outer layer, is called the cell wall. And here where a plant cell meets another plant cell. So the plant cells are separated by a thick membrane called a cell wall. Small structures inside a cell that do different jobs are called. So what do we call the small machines that are working inside a cell, such as the mitochondria, the vacuole, the chloroplast? We call them organelles. Organelles. So an organelle is a machine. It is a small structure found inside plants, inside cells, and these machines have different and important roles in the cell. Annotate the diagram of the plant cell. This is the second question. Even if they did not tell us that this is a plant cell, I think that the drawing shows us that this is obvious. It's a plant cell. Why? Because it has two outer lines. This is the first one. This is the second one. What do we call the one that is on the outside? This is the cell wall of this plant cell. The second one, this one I think, let me see. So this one is the cell membrane. Okay, this is the cell membrane. Let's talk about this one right here. Let me circle it first. So I'm talking about this thing in the middle, which is the control center of the cell. It is the part that controls all the activities happening inside the cell. So this is the nucleus. Here is the cytoplasm, which is like a gel space where all organelles are found, and it is surrounded by the cell membrane. Look at this cute machine right here. Okay. Here also, here and here. These are called the mitochondria. These are the mitochondria, and these organelles are responsible of providing or making the energy for the cell. Okay, so these are the mitochondria. We still have the last one. Usually, these organelles, or in general, we call them plastids. Plastids. Okay, we write it this way. A plastid is an organelle found in plant cells. This organelle is engaged in the photosynthesis of plants. A quick reminder, photosynthesis is the food-making process that plants go through to make their own food. Do you remember that, grade 6? When plants take water from the soil, carbon dioxide from the air, they mix them using sunlight energy and cook their own food, which is a kind of sugar. So this process is called photosynthesis. Plastids have an important job in photosynthesis. So in general, these organelles are called plastids, but since, as you can see, they have like discs, 1, 2, 3, 4. We draw them usually this way. It is an oval shape with discs inside, full of chlorophyll. So we will call them chloroplasts. So chloroplasts are a type of plastids. Okay? Chloroplasts are a kind. A chloroplast is a type of plastid. Yes, I said it right. Let's move now to part B. Cross out the wrong term in the box. This cell contains plastids. For sure, it is a plant cell. That's a plant cell. It must have a plastid inside. Again, the plastid is an organelle that is engaged in photosynthesis. In this case, the plastids are rich in chlorophyll and not in starch, so we will cross starch. Since they are full of the green chlorophyll, okay, let me tell you something else, that the pigment, the substance found in the plastids determine the color of the plant. Since in this case, the plastids contain the green chlorophyll, so we have the green chloroplasts, and we will cross the amyloplasts. Okay, I think part C is clear now. Determine. Do not ever forget that, sorry, each time I ask you to determine, you have to justify your answer. The diagram, does it represent a green leaf? Is it the cell of a green leaf or of a banana pulp? What's the difference? The green leaf is green in color. The banana pulp is yellow in color. In the cell, we have the chloroplasts full of the green chlorophyll. So this cell represents, or this diagram represents a cell of a green leaf. So this diagram represents the cell of a green leaf. Can we stop right here? No, we cannot. We have to tell why. Because it contains the chloroplasts that hold the pigment giving the plants their green color. What do we call this pigment? It is the chlorophyll. Let's talk about now, this is the last question, talking about the paramecium. Okay, take your time to read the text. I will start immediately with the questions, and we have to refer to the text to get the answers, okay? And I will be showing you the answers in the text. The paramecium cell membrane is covered with cilia. Let's first look for the membrane, okay? So here is the membrane of this organism, of this living thing. And as you can see, the membrane is covered with small hair called cilia. What are two functions of these cilia? Okay. Let me show you this in the text. In this part, they are saying, how can we explain the excessive mobility of this animal other than by the fast undulations of the cilia that cover the surface of its membrane? So this small hair helps the cilia to move. It can modify its direction and its movement. It can make a sudden backward, like they are saying at the beginning. So the first function of these cilia is one, to help the paramecium move. Okay, it helps in the excessive mobility. It has a role in the excessive mobility of the animal. Second, it is also by the undulations of the cilia that food is pushed into the mouth of the paramecium. So to push food into the mouth of this animal. Okay, where did I find? Where did I find the answer? Right here. The paramecium is an independent animal. This is the most important expression in the paragraph. The paramecium is a small animal. This animal is made of a unique cell. It is a unicellular organism, and for sure a microscopic organism. It cannot be seen by the naked eye. You need a microscope to observe the animal. Its body is formed of one unique cell. Okay, how can this animal be independent and live by itself with one cell? One, we know that it can move using the cilia. Two, it eats with the help of the cilia. Three, this animal digests its food by making vacuoles. It breathes without a respiratory system. So, as you can see, and the conclusion is said in the last sentence, this animal is able to perform all functions. It can move, it can breathe, it can eat, only with, and it breathes also, only with one unique cell. So we will say the paramecium is a unicellular organism that is able to make all functions. Let's give some examples of functions. Breathing, eating, moving, etc. with one cell. Okay, so it has vacuoles to eat, it can breathe without a respiratory organ. It moves using its cilia. And all of this happens with one cell only. Okay, I hope all is clear now. If you still have any questions about the worksheet and the lesson, I will be happy to answer them all. See you. Take care. Bye-bye.